Is your life still going up in smoke? Today, we're going to talk about how to breathe easier with smoke in your air. And kind of doesn't matter where you are in the country these days, you've got some smoke in your air. You can see behind me the sunsets here in Cincinnati with the smoke coming from the west. It is showing up. They say the air quality isn't bad. It's so high in the sky, but it is affecting our sunsets. And I'm sure in California, they wish that was all that was affecting there. Welcome. Today is renovation of the nose. We're talking smoke smells again because it's just so prevalent over the country. And we are truly sorry if you can't see this because you're inundated with smoke and maybe you've moved out of your house. You're in an RV parked along hopefully some safe road, but still the smoke follows you and your sunsets may not be as beautiful as the one behind me. I am Deb with OdorXit. You can check us out at OdorXit.com. But today we're going to talk about how to breathe easier with smoke and some things you can do. Now, I want you to know, first of all, I'm not crying out of one eye. Something in the air is bothering me, and it's been for about a week. Now, they swear that the air quality here in Cincinnati is not yet affected because the smoke is so high in the sky. But, you know, if you've got asthma, if you've got any kind of breathing conditions, you may know better. So what can you do? We're going to talk some things, you know, without even OdorXit that you can do, you should be doing to help you breathe easier. So first of all, you do need to pay attention to the local air quality reports. What are they saying about the quality of your air? What are the numbers? Is it affecting you? And I don't have one near me, but the normal masks that we're being asked to wear for this COVID thing is not the kind of mask that is going to help you with the smoke smell. Those paper masks that painters wear to keep the fumes out, pretty useless. The COVID masks that we are asked to wear when we go out in public and restaurants and that sort of thing, pretty useless for the smoke situation. You do need one of the N95 masks. It's got a little respirator button on it that it actually it's got a filter and cleans that air before you breathe it. If you've got asthma, hopefully you've already got one of those because they're probably harder to find now than ever before. But hopefully you've already got one of those for the COVID thing, so it's making you easier. And you know, some people can't even wear a mask to ride an airplane. And they're not allowed to ride on the airplane because they've got asthma and the mask don't allow them to breathe. So do what you would do normally. Make sure you got your medicine, your inhalers. I know I've been taking my inhalers and it helps, but you know what, as you can tell, it doesn't do much for the watery eyes. What I have done for watery eyes is magic. I sprayed some magic throughout my house to kind of absorb whatever was coming in through the windows in the air. This is the season we like to open our windows because the air is fresh and clean and cool, at least overnight. We were like 54 degrees last night. So, but we let in all the gunk in the air, the particles, the smoke, the ash. People out in California are saying it is literally raining ash, snowing ash, I think was the term they used. How awful. How awful. So I think we don't know how bad it is till we're really there. So those of you who are living through it, our hearts and prayers go out to you because it can't be an easy situation. You do use an air filter. If you're in your house and trying to get better, cleaner air to breathe, change your air filter, change it often. We normally change ours once a month. You probably ought to be changing yours once every 2 weeks or maybe even every week. And another really great thing for your air filter, cut that off here, is spraying Magic. Again, it is water and essential oils. Most people with asthma can breathe just fine with this. Obviously, you don't want to spray it up your nose or right where you're breathing, but you can spray it on your air filter and it will absorb a lot of those particles as it goes through the filter to help clean your air as it comes through and giving you cleaner, fresher air to breathe. I've been spraying it, like I said, through the house, and it absorbs odors as well, and it's absorbing those particles. One point, I had a freshly painted display to hold a lot of OdorXit products on that I was going to put into some of the hardware stores. That fresh paint, I don't know if it was, but the VOCs it was putting off, my eyes were tearing, my eyes were red. I couldn't keep my hands out. I just kept rubbing and rubbing. And actually I do that off camera now. So, but what I did, it was the display sitting in the TV room while I was, and I took the Magic and I just kind of spritzed it at it. It's nothing that you have to spray and saturate the area. What it did was absorb those VOCs, and I sat and watched TV and forgot about it. My eyes stopped tearing, stopped rubbing my eyes. I mean, it's kind of amazing stuff. So Magic is on our website at OdorXit.com. If you think that's worth giving it a try, we've got the 8-ounce bottle, we've got a half a gallon refill bottle, both really reasonably priced, and that's going to help you if you're in an RV and don't really have an address. Get it to your friend. Other things is if you're indoors, and you probably already know these things, don't burn candles, don't vacuum. Woohoo! Sorry about that. But when you vacuum, unless you have a HEPA cleaner, it's going to throw that dust back in the air and make it harder to breathe. So you don't want to be stirring up the particles anymore and making it worse. So don't vacuum, don't light your candles, don't light a fireplace. I mean, all those things, no smoking products. You got asthma. Hopefully you've already figured that out, and your family members have too. And maybe you have, but your family members haven't. But now's really a bad time to smoke because it's just putting more particles in the air, making it hard for you to breathe. We talked about the no dust masks. Keep your windows and doors closed because you want to keep as many particles out as possible. So opening it on this cool day may not be the smartest thing to do. Allow your air system to recirculate that air and draw the particles out so it is easier for you to breathe. Now, I know in California, those who are only affected by the smoke, they don't even have air conditioning there. They live there because the air is cool all year long. They don't even have an air conditioner for their home. So maybe an air purifier, maybe so I don't know if that means they don't even sell air conditioners. It probably would be tough to find one, but that's the kind of system you want, keeping your windows closed and purifying your air inside. Let's see. Use an air filter. Don't contribute to your air pollution by the fires, and don't wear a dust mask, and avoid smoke exposure during outdoor recreation. So don't build a fire at night. God forbid, don't use firecrackers to celebrate the naming of a boy or a girl child when you get pregnant. That's what started one of these fires. Like craziness. So there's I guess a couple of weeks ago, there was 90 separate fires going on out west in the western states. And that's, they just haven't been able to bring them under control. And that's what's contributing to our beautiful sunsets. But that's a really high price to pay. And lots of homes are being wiped out. The beautiful scenery, the beautiful drives. I mean, fire is a horrific thing. So we do not want the world to go up in smoke. So do what you can to save the planet, save your breathing, stay inside. OdorXit has a second product that once the fire's over and you're able to save your home has been saved and relieved, and it is smoky, we have a second product. This is the Magic, is really good for ongoing smoke smells. You're going to have to reuse it, obviously, because the smoke is going to come back in depending on how long this lasts. But the AQM products, they will oxidize that smoke smell when it's all said and done. And then, God forbid, another fire, but that would be the only reason it would come back, is another fire. So it is a product made of chlorine dioxide. When used as directed, it's good for you to breathe. It's probably going to help you breathe. You don't want to stick it under your nose and breathe at full strength. This produces enough gas to last for 30 days. So putting it under your nose, not a good idea. But when it's in a room, the right size for the packet, and you kind of just smell it normally as walking through, and you really don't want to smell it unless you're standing next to the package, that's going to be helpful for you to breathe. It gets rid of cigarette smoke smells, fire smoke smells, even charred fire smells, mold, mildew. So even the poor folks down on the southern coast, the Gulf Coast, who having all the rain and flooding, it's going to get rid of the mold for them too. So it's exact same product for cigarette smoke smells or mold or mildew with our horrific things going on in our country right now. So thank you so much for tuning in. I want to tell you another story here about a fella who did drive through Gatlinburg forest fires. This was obviously a couple years ago, and he was lucky to survive to hear him tell the story. The smoke was so thick they couldn't see where they were going, but knew the fire was close behind them and they needed to get down off the mountaintop. The fire had originally was 20 miles away from them, and then the wind changed, and you know what happened? They had to get out, grab their things out of the cabin, get in the car, and get out as quick as they could. The smoke was just so thick, they found it really difficult to find the road and get down, but a couple hours in the grace of God, they ran into other traffic, and then they were able to follow cars down the road and get to safety. And he ended up driving home with his head out the window because it was just so filled with smoke and smoke smell, they could hardly tolerate it. But they were very grateful to be alive. So that was like the least of their problems. What they did when they got home was they used Magic in their car. They used Magic in their car and sprayed it. And 4 years later, he tells me the smell has never come back. So it's water and essential oils. It's Magic. It is a special formula to make things magical, smell magical again. So give it a try. It's honestly very reasonably priced. You'll be amazed. It's other uses for Magic. I mean, so you get a bottle and you spray it and the fire's over and the smell, the air quality is good again, and you've got 3/4 of a bottle left. What else can you do with it? Well, you got babies, spray it on their diaper. It'll absorb bathroom odors. You follow dad in the bathroom on a Saturday morning and go, ooh, ooh, ooh. Spray the bathroom, spray the toilet seat, and it'll alleviate that from the beginning. You can, we've already talked about cigarette smoke, but if you're a smoker and cigarette smoke smells are an issue, your hair smells like smoke, then spray your hair, spritz your hair, your clothes. It'll absorb that smell and people will think you quit smoking. It'll be great. What else can you do? You can spray your shoes. Ignore the man behind the curtain. Pets, you can spray your hands and pet your dog, your cat. Probably your cat doesn't smell so much. But dogs have body odor. You can spray your hands and pet your dog and it will absorb that smell. And it won't rub off on the couches. He'll last a lot longer between baths. You'll want to love on him a whole lot more. He'll love it. You can also spray your couches. It's not going to stain. It's not going to show up in any way. It's just, as you can see, maybe you can't. It's a clear liquid. So it's going to come out in a small mist and it will just absorb those odors for a long period of time. See, I'm trying to show you how clear it is. Let's see. Dead animal smell. Oh, this is our big use why hardware stores use it, sell it. When an animal dies behind your wall, what are you going to do to get rid of that smell while it decays? I mean, you put out decon, the mice eat it, they die, there's lots of them, they're decaying. Your whole house stinks, or at least that one wall where they're all behind there. Spray magic, spray it at where the floor and the wall meet, spray it in the cutouts in the wall, like the switch plates, the outlets, holes, and it will absorb those gases, those decaying smells, as they try to waft through the other room. And you're probably going to have to spray it a couple times depending upon how big the animal is, how many there are, and how long it's going to take for that to decay. And the smell's going to be gone. You'll be able to live in your house. You won't have to move out. It'll be great. So lots of uses for magic. Get them for the cigarette smoke too, to help you breathe easier with all this smoke in your air. Hopefully we've helped you today with some tips on living with smoke in your air. It's not going away anytime soon. It is wafting across the country. It's coming to a city near you. And hopefully it's just smoke, and the fires, the firemen, our first responders are all safe and they get these fires out quickly. And we can get back to life as normal, as normal living in your RV isn't normal for most people. Thanks for tuning in. I am Deb Meyer with OdorXit. Please go to our website, OdorXit.com, and place your order. And as I forgot to say at the beginning, please go down and hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and you'll be notified anytime we have new videos out. And we do at least one a week on Thursday morning, so tune in. Thanks again for tuning in, and you have an awesome day. Smoke-free, smell-free, and if you gotta smell it, it's fresh and clean.